Well, hello there, boys and girls, and we're into Wednesday already. And I love Wednesdays because Wednesdays is PE Day, PE Zoom Day. So if you get a chance to get onto our Healthy Kids PE session today, all the passwords and everything will be up on Class Story for you. So I hope you get a chance to get on if you can. Also today, keep an eye on Class Story because I will also be posting up some information for World Around Us. And we're going to do a little mini topic at the minute for World Around Us on protecting our world. And we're looking in particular at recycling. So you'll receive some videos today on that. And I'll also talk you through the activity for World Around Us that I've enclosed in our pack, which we'll use this week, but we'll also do a bit of it next week. So we're not going to do all of it this week, okay? Now, let's get started and we'll begin with our date. And our date today is Wednesday, as I said, Wednesday the 10th of February 2021. That's Wednesday the 10th of February 2021. Be careful with the spelling of Wednesday because it has a little sneaky N in there that you almost wouldn't know is in there, all right? Moving on to our spellings then, and you can repeat after me our J sound words. Jar, jelly, jeep, jail, gym, germ, giant, age, page, large, ledge, and bridge. And yesterday, boys and girls, I forgot to look through our sounds and focus. So apologies for that. But luckily, we don't have that much to do this week. So it shouldn't take us long to get through it. Now, I'm going to look at part 3 then. And for question 3, you're asked to put a G in front of each word. Okay, and you'll end up with some of our list words. Now, it says we sometimes write G for the J sound when it is followed by E, I, or Y. For example, Jim, giant, and Jim. Sorry, Gem, giant, and Jim. Mrs. McFadden, wake up. So once you've put a G in front of each of your words, read the word aloud and see if you can hear that J sound. Now, if you can only hear G, that's not our sound this week, so you wouldn't circle our word. But if you hear that J sound, then you circle the word. And the clue there they've given for you is that if there is an E, for example here, or an I, there's an I there as well, or a Y, after the G, it sometimes makes a J sound. But boys and girls, I think that's a bit confusing for you because here we have an I, and when you put a G in front of it, it makes the word girl. And that definitely doesn't have a J sound. So what I would suggest you do is, just as I said, put a G at the start of your word, say the word aloud, and make sure that grown-up is beside you checking that you're saying the right word. And if you hear that J sound, put a circle around the word. If you don't, then you don't need to put a circle around it, okay? Question 4 then has a word search and it has lots of contractions. Do you remember what contractions are? It's when you join two words together to make one word and you put an apostrophe in the middle and you maybe take out a letter. So you'll see here, for example, she's, which means she is, or it might mean she has. What's, which would be what is. Where's, where is. Theirs is for there is. It's means it is. That's, that is. Whose means who is, or whose can mean who has. Here's, here is. He's, he is. And she's, she is. So, the contractions are all here with their apostrophes. However, in the word search, it's the two words that are there instead. So, if you look at she's, for example, you see she's here with the apostrophe. See this first word? But in the word search, you're going to be looking for what it was before it became a contraction. So you're looking for she is, which was shortened down to she's. She is. So let's look and see if we can find it. Oh, look. S-H-E-I-S. She is. So you would put a circle around that or colour it in. And really colour in the whole box for each letter, because at the very end you're going to have some letters left and they're going to be part of a hidden word. So then you go on to what's, and instead of looking for what's in the word search, you're going to look for what is. Then there's another what's, so this time you're going to look for what has. So you're going to be looking for 2 words each time instead of 1. Okay, and remember to colour in the whole boxes, so at the end you will find a hidden word with any boxes that aren't coloured. I hope that makes sense, boys and girls. And you have a few days still to work on it, so don't feel that you have to get all of this sounds and focus done today, because we're only on Wednesday, all right? Today for literacy, we are looking at letter writing. Now, there's not an awful lot of lines, so it's not going to be a very long letter. The letter is from Goldilocks. You can see at the end, from Goldilocks, kiss, kiss, kiss. There's a picture of her. And who do you think she's writing to? Of course, she's writing to the 3 bears. Now, up at the top you will see the address of Goldilocks. Now, when you're writing a letter, you put your own address up at the top. Now, why do you think you need to put your own address on the top of your letter? Well, the reason you put your own address at the top is so that someone can write back to you. They can send a reply if they want to. So Goldilocks is probably hoping that after the bears read her letter, that they will send her a reply. And on the front of the envelope, they will put her address. Now, why do you think Goldilocks is writing to the 3 bears? Now, we all know the story. And if we don't, or if we've forgotten the story of Goldilocks and the 3 bears, there are hundreds of videos on YouTube that will remind you of the story, okay? Now, I think Goldilocks is writing to apologise. Because do you remember she went into their house, she tasted all of their porridge. She didn't like Daddy Bears or Mummy Bears, but she ate all of Baby Bear's porridge. She sat in all of their chairs. She wasn't comfortable in Mummy or Daddy's chair, so she sat in Baby Bear's chair and broke it. Then she went upstairs into their bedrooms and she tossed and turned in each of their beds until she got to Baby Bear's bed, where she fell fast asleep. So she ate their food, broke their chair and slept in their bed. So maybe she is writing to apologise. Now, when you begin a letter, you start with dear. Dear 3 bears. And at the end of your letter, you write who it's from. From Goldilocks. So I think she might start by saying, Dear 3 bears, I am writing to say how sorry I am for the mess I made in your house. I didn't mean to eat all of your porridge. I didn't mean to break your furniture. And when you saw me in Baby Bear's bed, I was so scared that I ran away. I want to apologise. Or maybe Goldilocks is a little rascal and maybe she's writing to complain. Dear bears, I did not think much of 2 of your bowls of porridge. One was too hot, one was too salty. And the last bowl was just enough to fill me, but I could have had a little bit more, really. I didn't like your chairs. They weren't very comfortable, and the only one that I liked was too small for me, and it broke. I am not very happy. 2 of your beds were very uncomfortable too. And just as I was getting nice and sleepy and resting in Baby Bear's bed, you 3 came home and disturbed me. I am very disappointed. From Goldilocks. But boys and girls, it's up to you to decide if you think Goldilocks is sorry or if you think she's a little rascal and isn't sorry at all. Okay, she's writing to the 3 bears. So we want some lovely detailed sentences. And then at the end, we know it's from Goldilocks. So you won't have to write that because it's already there for you. I look forward to reading your letters, boys and girls. I'm sure they'll be very entertaining. Today in our maths, boys and girls, we are looking at another bar chart. But it is laid out differently today. So it goes sideways this time. So that's one difference between this one and yesterday's one. Yesterday's bar chart went up in ones at the side, but this one goes across in twos. The title is Waiting Times, and then there's the names of different rides: Big Wheel, Swing Boat, Parachute, Log Flume, and Roller Coaster. And the bar chart shows you how long the waiting time is to go on each ride. So if you were at an amusement park and there was all these different rides, often you have to stand in a queue and wait, don't you, until it's your turn. Now, if you're waiting for the parachute ride here, you see you'll have to wait quite a long time. But if you're waiting for the swing boat, not so long. So let's look at the questions. Which ride has the shortest waiting time? So you're going to look for the shortest bar to find which ride has the shortest waiting time. Which ride has a waiting time of 10 minutes? So you're going to have to look at your bar chart, go across to 10 minutes and go up and see the bar that ends at the 10. All right? If you're finding it hard to see where the bars end, you could do what I'm doing and use a ruler so you can see where each bar ends and you can compare it to the times down below. A ruler or any kind of straight edge that you have would work. So it asks you which ride, as I said, has a waiting time of 10 minutes, then one that has a waiting time of 13, a waiting time of 9, and a waiting time of 15 minutes. Now, if these go up in twos, 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and so on, how on earth are you going to know that one of the rides has a waiting time of 9? Well, the ride with a waiting time of 9 is going to be the ride where the bar stops between 8 and 10. It stops in the middle because in between those two, right in the middle, that is where 9 minutes would be. Okay, so you've got 8 there, 10 there, but in the middle of the bar would be 9. So again, use your ruler or straight edge and you see which bar stops at 9 minutes. All right. And you would do the same for 13 minutes. It's going to be the bar that stops between 12 and 14. For question 3, then you're going to have to do a little bit of taking away because you were asked how much longer is the wait for the parachute than for the log flume. So you're going to have to look at the parachute time and the log flume time and see the difference between the two. Now you might want to use the graph to help you find the difference, or you might want to just work out the totals and take the smaller one away from the bigger one. How much longer is the waiting time for the parachute than for the swing boat? And than from the big wheel as well. Question 4 then asks you to think about these rides and to decide why do you think each ride has a different waiting time. So why do you think the parachute, for example, takes the longest time to get onto while the swing boat takes the shortest time? See if you can think of a reason why. So that's our work for today, boys and girls. Don't forget PE at 11:45 if you can get on. I know access to internet and things can be tricky at times, but if you can get on, I'd love to see you there. Accelerated reading as usual. Remember, we're trying to do 1 quiz a week. And at the minute, we're doing very well with accelerated reading. P4 in particular are the best users of accelerated reading at the minute. Continue on with Sumdog as well because we're really good at that. And keep an eye out on Class Story today because I will be posting some videos for our World Around Us topic. It's a little mini topic called Protecting Our Planet. All right, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.